But the next question that we need to start to explore, we know that Cardano is all about community. And community-led growth is driving everything that we do. So how exactly will Web3 change our future? Well, here to tell us a little bit more, also from EMURGO, please give a huge Cardano Summit welcome to Sebastian Zilliacus.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Isn't it exciting what Vineet and EMURGO FinTech is doing? I'm really looking forward to what stablecoin can do to the Cardano community. Another thing that excites me a lot is also community. My name is Sebastian Zilliacus. I'm the Managing Director of EMURGO Media. And I will be taking you on a journey today by going through human evolution, Web 2 versus Web 3 identity approach, what kind of content is produced today, what could be some of the problems or opportunities in the Cardano ecosystem, how we from EMURGO Media is addressing those kind of problems, little bit about the wisdom of the community and what wisdom of community means. And then we also would like to make a really huge announcement from EMURGO Media today as well, which I'm really excited to share with you. But let's move on. So human evolution. I've structured a human evolution into 3 segments. And the first one of human evolution is the prehistoric humans. During this era, the group has been really, really important. Perhaps even today there are some people that are a little bit prehistoric humans. But during this era, it was really an era about transforming from a culture of hunting and gathering to farming and food production. During this time, people were spending time in smaller groups, specifically for survival. And because these smaller groups were about survival, it could also be fighting in between the different kind of smaller groups. The next iteration or segment of human evolution is where we are today. The focus is really on the individual, me and I. I am the best thing that exists in this world. But unfortunately, because of the focus of I and me, at this particular moment, it has been quite a lot of stress on individualization, and it has reached a little bit of a tipping point. Even the most intimate about ourselves have become public, and it can also be controlled by agencies, most of the time unknown to ourselves as individuals. What we are transitioning to is what I call Web3 humans segment. And Web3 humans have a slightly different language and vocabulary. It's all about we or us, compared to me and I in Web 2, as well as group in the prehistoric humans. And what we are born individuals, of course, but we really find our communities through our interest and decisions. And within the community approach, we are really celebrating the diversity of identity and intersectionality, instead of separating and excluding people because of it. So it's really human shared identity in a community. Whether you are Web 3 human, Web 2 human, or prehistoric human, we all have an innate need or desire to feel that we belong. And with the existence of social media, I believe that we have definitely fulfilled that need. And social media is something that have provided a lot of benefits and positive aspects, specifically when it comes to reducing barriers of communication, making it easier for everyone to connect with friends and family, getting to know other people. So that has been really, really important. And I would like to share with you a quote from Aristotle, who saying, "Man is by nature a social animal. An individual who is unsocial, naturally or not accidentally, is either beneath or notice or more than human. Society is something that precedes the individual." And that is true through Web3 humans, Web2 humans, or prehistoric humans. We all feel the need to belong somewhere. And that transitions into, while we are humans, how do we look at us from an identity approach? What is the difference between Web2 and Web3 identity approach? And something that excites me is more of a philosophical question, but if someone asks you what your identity is, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Now, when it comes to Web2 identity approach, we are pretty much expected to show photographs, videos of what we do in our free time. About ourselves to really show the markers of our identity. Pretty much we are advertising ourselves. But unfortunately, the negative effect of that is that it has created addiction, and it has created a dopamine rush, which is not good. It's not natural, that kind of way. Now, with so much time spent on advertising ourselves, you would believe that we would all be having a financial freedom for providing so much information, but that's not really the case. Unless you really have millions and millions of followers, financial freedom on a centralized social media is pretty much an empty promise. 99% of the value of our identities are locked within these platforms and is fragmented across these platforms. As an example, I can be a corporate leader on LinkedIn while at the same time a foodie on Instagram. I might have both identities, or which identity really belongs to me compared to what is required of me. And none of this information is owned by us. So the words we use in the Web2 approach of identity is me and I. Now, if we take a look at the Web3 identity approach, our identities are really an intricate salad of both visible and invisible traits, chosen by us, but also given by others. For centuries, people have been marginalized, segregated, and even murdered for their identities, whether it would be race, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or otherwise. But then in spite of these hardships some people have faced, our identities has also given us the possibility to connect with other people, to be part of community, and even an opportunity to redefine, celebrate, and even embrace our shared traits. In Web3, Web3 has really changed the signals on how we signal our identities, on how we form communities and create change. The focus is really on shared identities, shared values, and create change. And the best part of it is that we own the data that we provide. So the languages we use in the Web3 identity approach is we or us. Now, another interesting philosophic question that I like to answer, like to question myself, is that do we shape our online personas based on our identity, or does our online personas shape our identity? Very, very different, but really exciting. Now, what is the kind of content that is produced online today? Today, the keystone of all tech giants are user-generated content. And here are some examples. Tinder. Every minute on social media, there are 990,000 swipes. And I'm pretty sure all of you are part of that statistics. Don't lie to me. There are over 500,000 photos shared on Snapchat every minute on social media. Over 4 million videos are being watched on YouTube. There are 46,000 plus photos posted on Instagram. And lastly, there's more than 450,000 tweets being done on Twitter every minute on social media, which is really amazing. Now, how much of data do we actually produce on internet today? There are 2.5 quintillion bytes of data created every day. And if you take that in proportion, roughly about 1 gigabyte of data can create 350,000 email addresses. So a lot of data that we produce. Now, why do all of these tech giants utilize user-generated content in order to drive their products? It's actually quite clear. 92% of all consumers turn to people they know for referrals above any other source. There are 90% of all consumers that say authenticity is important when deciding what brands they like and support. 73% of people say user-generated content is being used when they make a purchasing decision. However, only 16% of all businesses are using user-generated content in their strategy. According to Comscore, for brand engagement or project engagement, it's an increase in 28% when consumers are exposed to a mix between professional marketing content and user-generated content. So extremely, extremely excited to utilize user-generated content. Now, we took a look at Cardano ecosystem to find out what could be possible problems or opportunities that can fall underneath media. And today there are three main opportunities/problems that we could find. So the first one is fragmented information. Today, information about Cardano exists on many different kind of platforms, but it may be difficult to really understand, have an aggregated view of what is really going on within the Cardano ecosystem. The second one is reliability of data. It's been difficult to validate and verify the reliability of data and information due to the fact of the fragmented landscape of information. And lastly, it's been difficult and hard for people to keep track on what is the latest development of projects running on Cardano ecosystem. There's a lot of information about the platform itself. There's a lot of information for developers on how to develop on Cardano, but how do we keep track on what the projects is doing, what those products are performing? So those are the three challenges and opportunities that we can find that we want to tackle. So how do we really address this problem within EMURGO Media? So we want to provide a user-generated interactive platform specifically designed for investment in, distribution, consumption, and monetization of Cardano content. And how we address these three problems is we are aggregating and curating content from trusted and reliable sources. We want to focus on projects in the Cardano ecosystem and the relation between projects and their stakeholders, which could be investors, they could be developers, it could be talent, or just enthusiasts. And lastly, we are implementing a project trust index utilizing social sentiment analysis and other social functionalities so that the community decides on what kind of content is valuable related to that project. If we talk about social sentiment is really key for project success. But what is sentiment? So social sentiment indicators enable companies to understand what they are doing right and what they potentially need to improve on. Keeping customers happy today is paramount for projects' long-term success. When the majority of the public is happy with your product, your services, as well as the interactions with your suppliers and vendors, project revenues and profits are more likely to rise. Some of the parameters that you can use for social sentiment are daily community sentiment on projects, feedback or utilizing user-generated reviews, and it could also be quality validation and review by the community on relevant information. So what are we going to do within EMURGO Media related to this? So we are also extremely happy today to announce the first product within EMURGO Media. And this particular product has a name that has been chosen by the Cardano community by voting. And the name is Cardano Spot. All right, come on, some applause. So, why are we doing this? What is our North Star? What is our vision with this product? That is really to empower and connect Cardano enthusiasts to do the things that inspires them, to change the world together. So to share a little bit more about this product for you, I'm going to present a video. So please take a look. Exciting? Thank you. I'm really excited about this product and what we can do to support the Cardano ecosystem, and specifically, as I mentioned, 4 projects to help them be exposed into the Cardano ecosystem, but also externally through traditional media. Now, there's a couple of things we want to do with this product. So we are here today where we launched a closed beta. It's an invite-only access. But please go to cardanospot.io to register to the whitelist. to later be able to explore the product. And what we are launching today is a news and reports functionality. There's an ecosystem project library, ecosystem project detail page. It's a community hub. We also have a curated home feed. And within the community hub, we have a functionality of user-generated content. We are then moving over to stage 2 with a couple of new functionalities and features. One is a market status, which shows all the coins that is on Cardano ecosystem. There's a curation of events and a curation of podcast in our open beta. We will also release our mobile applications on Android and iOS. And then we are moving over to stage 3 for proper Web3 implementation, utilizing wallet integration, and then we are transitioning to further Web3 functionalities through premium access of functionality and content, a really in-depth reward system, as well as the ecosystem project trust scoring, utilizing sentiment analysis. So, we would love to work with all of you. So if you want to know more about how you can collaborate with us, how you can partner with us, please visit us at the EMURGO booth later. Thank you very much.